Let's go out in the community and serve. Let's love on the people we have. Let's love on the ones that come every week. Let's love on Zach and Lissa. It's their last week here. Let's love on them in their last because he got deployed to Alaska. So let's love on them in their last week here. Let's smile in case we get locked in the church and we need the security guard to come get us out. Maybe they get locked in the church. Who knows? Let's smile at them. But the Levite saw him and passed on the other side. He's the helper of the priest. He was a servant. Well, maybe the pastor's religious enough. He shouldn't touch this measly person in the side of the road. No, not the pastor. But the servant of the pastor. The servant. He has a servant heart. He has a heart to serve the people. He obviously will help this person because he has compassion and serve. He wants to serve people. So was it because he saw the other guy go the other way? Or was it because he was religious in all things except for what God wanted? And we're going to see someone that has, in their eyes, a false religion because they built their own temple. They worship God in a different way than us, but they still worship God. And we're going to see what the Samaritan does. But a Samaritan, a foreigner who is traveling. When you travel, are you going to a destination? Okay, so this guy, we don't know what. I'm going to give you some things to think about, but we don't know why he was traveling, right? So let's throw a couple scenarios out, and I kind of got an idea which I'm going to stick with just as I was thinking about it. Let's say he had business to go to from Jericho. He's going to Jerusalem that same weekend for business. So he's coming home. He's on a business trip. What if he truly believed that the true living God was the God of the Jewish people, and not the God or not the way that Samaritans worshipped? What if he went to the temple? He was there. He saw the priest giving this great message, and he saw the Levites serving the people with awesome, and it was like the best temple service they ever had. And he's in the front row worshiping his Lord. And they gave a great message, whatever the message was. What if he was traveling from the temple? He's done heard the Lord speak through the preacher, and done seen the Lord serve through the servant, the Levite. And he's like, Lord, I need to do better, that I need to be more like that because I know this is the way you would be. Saw him with compassion. He saw him too. Well, the priest saw him, the Levite saw him, and on the other side. Obviously, the Samaritan's going to do it because they're rascals. They're half-breeds. They're nothing like us good religious people. They don't look like us. They don't act like us. Yeah, they come to church. We tolerate them. They can sit in the back. It's not a big deal. Maybe they sit in the front. We don't care. We don't like to sit in the front anyway. But he was in the temple. When he saw him, he was deeply moved with compassion. The one that is talking to God for you, the one that is leading the people in the temple, the priest, didn't have the compassion of God for this guy. That's scary. The Levite, the one that is serving the temple, serving people, was in a hurry to get home. They both were in a hurry to get home, to get down the mountain. Whether they were afraid for their lives, which would be a logical thing. I got to get down this mountain as fast as I can so I don't get beat up and put in the ditch too. I mean, that's a logical thing. But that's not compassionate. They both did that. Here's this half-breed, there's this rascal, has nothing to do with him, they think has nothing to do with God, and they're probably scoffing at him as they're serving and preaching their sermon in the temple, like, I think that's a Samaritan, look the way he looks. What's he even doing in here? And he absorbed everything the pastor said. He absorbed all the service that would happen, and he goes, Lord, I want to be more like you. And he had compassion on him. And he went to him. The religious people went from him. He went to him. There's pain, there's hurt. We've been talking about it a lot because it goes with the fruit of the Spirit. This is kindness in its purest sense. The priest had no kindness. The Levite had no kindness. The rascal, the sinning Samaritan, as they would say, showed compassion and kindness to this guy in more ways than we've probably ever heard, or I've ever heard. And if I listen to the Holy Spirit, it's going to really give you some things to think about, because we've thought about a few things we probably never put together before in this. Now it gets good, because now it gets really good. So he went to him. He bandaged his wounds. Do you think the